Good morning. Today is the 15th of July, 2024. Today is the conjunction of Jupiter and Uranus and the planet Algol. Actually, it's a fixed star that has very positive and very negative shadow that it casts across humanity. And we've all felt it as astrologers and seers that it was going to have consequential effects not only on our election but on the internal foundation of the structure of our own being. Personally, my name is Elizabeth de Vries and I am a seer and an astrologer. I do a lot of healing work. I do a lot of work with the other side where I make connection with the people that have left their form and wish to still communicate with their beloveds, mostly for reasons of consolation, but also for reasons of illumination. My goal in life is to bring forth from you your inner inspiration. I've been thinking all morning, as we all, about what occurred over the weekend. How is it going to be spun and twisted? How is it going to be used? Because when incidents of such magnitude occur, we can blow them up and twist them and spin them and use them for our own self-interest. And unfortunately, in our society right now, we are in a time of great self-interest. Everybody wants their moment of fame. This young fellow was deeply bullied and insecure, and I don't presume to know what pushed and motivated him, but obviously he was caught up as a vulnerable being in an extreme philosophy and expression of life, and may God have mercy on him. May he have mercy on himself as he now experiences the afterlife and experiences his own actions and sees the broader picture of his own actions, because we seem to forget that everything is interrelated, that we have been sending out the clarion call for violence for not only the last 8 years, but for centuries. We've just simply never left violence alone. We've used it as a way to gain power, to carry out our ego aspirations. And it seems to me today, everybody talks about narcissism and everybody out for themselves. I think we are in an age of narcissism. When I look at TikTok, I look at Instagram, I look at endless expressions of being that are 5 minutes in the sun. In one way, I see it as a good thing. I see it as a positive that we are able to finally say what's on our heart and share with others and meet people from all different cultures, ages, societies, and listen to the elders or look at babies laughing and singing and dancing or whatever it is. But at another level, there's something incredibly narcissistic about it. I even on Facebook attempt to not become narcissistically immersed in my own story. I like to share my story because my story has presented in this life. I chose to experience a lot of challenges, a lot of ways of facing death, walking through the death realms, and as a result became a communicator with those on the other side. But at the same time, and there go my dogs, so just got to take 1 second to call them back. That's enough, you guys. Cut it out. get inside and stop that barking. Of course, they come back to me looking utterly innocent and joyful and happy to see me and full of vigor, because that's what dogs are like. Okay, up you go. Go lie down. Thank you very much. Anyway, sorry about that, but it always happens. It's part of my readings seem to be always including the dogs. But I want to get back to this about history. Let's even sit quietly and think about history. Let's think about what we just went through this weekend, which will be in the annals of history. We need to learn as a society. What we're learning right now is a consciousness of our interconnection with all of life. So it's not whether Republican or Democrat or Russian or North Korean or Chinese. We are all cells on the body of humanity, and we have sorely forgotten that. We have set it aside in favor of our own prejudices and allegiances, and we become so darn attached to our belief systems. There you go, you go lie down, okay? Become so attached to our belief systems that we've actually created immense divisiveness and separation. What I'm knowing will happen this week, and I saw this violent experience acted out. I saw it months ago when I did a video last November. I do a yearly video where I go into the depths of what's coming up in the coming year. And I'm sorry to say, this is not the end of the violence. There's going to be a lot more as time goes by, as things heat up, intensify, and you're going to see a lot of spins out of this situation. You're going to hear a lot of conspiracy theories, and people are going to get riled up, stirred up. Just looking at the reaction on both sides, I saw the Democrats come forth with compassion, with no expression of violence or support of violence. Now, that's not to say their hands are stained free, because there is a lot of instigation going on in both sides within humanity itself. We're going to see a great spin on the Republican side using this incident over the weekend in a way that will arouse our rancor within. We're going to get keyed up over it. And I'm saying everybody right now needs to step back. We need to reevaluate our own deepest soul aspirations. And we'll find they're not that different from the person sitting next to us or the person across the country. We all have families, we all have children, we all know we're going to die, and it will be interesting to see how the Republican Party bounces back from this, having had a brush with death itself, but also a sort of karmic circle of the violence that has been propagated for so many years. And I pray to God that we get these AR-15s off the streets. I know that's a mighty task. I know there are many already out there. But guns are part of the issue. But the guns are only an example of what's going on within humanity, of this intrinsic capacity for seeking retribution with other people and getting so attached to our belief systems that we've completely forgotten that we are the embodiment of love itself. So my basic message today is to move away from our egotistical belief systems, our self-righteousness, our divisiveness, our ability to cast aspersions on the other side instead of listening. We need to develop deep listening skills, and we also need to be aware because this is not the end of this. There's a lot coming over the next 4 months, and I'm going to start doing some videos on that. I look at how much self-importance we've given to ourselves, and this is part of the problem. We are part, as I said earlier, we are a cell on the body of humanity. And if you look back in history, when you think back in history and you look at the leaders and you look at the situations that unfolded and the rise and fall of violence and of despotism and of peaceful times, it only can occur when we move beyond the self-importance of the ego. So to act out of consciousness, whether it's within our family, with our children, with our friends, or to act out of consciousness in our neighborhood, in our country, globally, is to realize not just the words unity, but to actually live out the words unity. I'll leave it there for today. I'm just going to draw one card for us for this week, because it's going to be an intensified week, I'm sorry to say. Yeah, this is the card of somebody who is coming out of the cave of having been wounded and looking at the world from a place of a little bit shaken up, a little bit considering just what is the next step, becoming more the observer, not so much the one filled with incessant opinions. And again, I have to say, look at TikTok, look at Instagram, look at Facebook, look at all the beliefs and opinions. Let's start listening. Let's start showing mercy to that kid in school who's being bullied. I heard one of the boys being interviewed that said he was bullied every day unmercifully. What was he doing? How can we stand back and watch that? Why are we not intervening when the guy in the street is getting knocked around by somebody else? How are we closing our eyes to the suffering of humanity, knowing that that is part of us? I know there's a lot coming up. I'm not negative, I'm not positive, I'm observing as a seer. I have done a video for the whole year. I have seen what is going to occur down the road. YouTube has insisted that we all say this is a video for entertainment purposes, but it's also a video to share the deeper aspects of what is going on, that we are in a plutonic time. And we are seeing around us plutocracies battling this archetypal battle between the dark and the light. It is being acted out on our stage of life. Let's think about it. Let's light a candle. Let's create prayer circles. Let's meditate. Let's walk in the nature. Let's turn off our TV. Let's stop listening to these indoctrinations by the media. Media has, to me, been one of the most negative forces of late. I'll close there. If anybody would care to have a reading with me, you can connect with me at angelicmercy44@gmail.com. Thank you.